acid sulfate soils. Acid sulfate soils are drained coastal wetland soils that have become the acidic, which are having the pH less than 4 due to the oxidation of the pyritic minerals in the soil. Whatever the pyritic minerals which are present in these wetland soils, if these are the drained coastal wetland soils and becomes strongly acidic, which are having the pH less than 4, then these soils are said to be the acid sulfate soils. While undrained soils, which will consist of the pyrites, this need not to be the acidic, but these are known as the potential acid sulfate soils. Whatever the undrained soils consisting of the pyrites and it not be acidic, then these soils are said to be the potential acid sulfate soils. Generally, these acid sulfate soils are found in the coastal areas where the land is inundated by the salt water of the sea. In India, these acid sulfate soils mostly occurs in the Kerala, Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, as well as the West Bengal. If we see the definition of the acid sulfate soil, whatever the soils with sufficient sulfides to become strongly acidic when drained and aerated enough for the cultivation, these are known as the acid sulfate soils. The soils consist of the sufficient sulfides of the iron sulfides or the other sulfides, and these will become the strongly acidic, having the pH less than 4. When drained and aerated enough for cultivation, these soils are said to be the acid sulfate soils. These acid sulfate soils are look like as shown in these images. If we see the types of the acid sulfate soils, there are two types of the acid sulfate soils. First one is the potential acid sulfate soil. Whatever the acid sulfate soil which have not been oxidized by exposure to air are known as the potential acid sulfate soils. These are neutral in pH, having the pH in between 6.5 to 7.5. Consist of the unoxidized iron sulfides, usually soft, sticky, and saturated with the water, and these are usually gel-like muds, but can include the wet sands and gravels, have the potential to produce the acid if it is exposed to the oxygen. These acid sulfate soils, which have not been oxidized by the exposure to the air, are known as the potential acid sulfate soils, which are having the pH in between 6.5 to 7.5, that is the neutral pH, consist of the unoxidized iron sulfides. These are usually soft, sticky, saturated with water, and usually gel-like muds, but it can include the wet sand as well as the gravel and have the potential to produce the acids if it is exposed to the oxygen. Then another type of the acid sulfate soil is the actual acid sulfate soil. When potential acid sulfate soil exposed to the oxygen, the iron sulfides are oxidized to produce the sulfuric acid, and soil becomes strongly acidic, usually having the pH less than 4. Then these soils are then known as the actual acid sulfate soils. Whatever the potential acid sulfate soils, as and when these are exposed to the oxygen, these iron sulfides are oxidized and it will give the production of the sulfuric acid. Thus, this sulfuric acid give the formation of the strongly acidic soils which are having the pH less than 4. Then these soils are said to be the actual acid sulfate soils. These have the pH less than 4, contains the oxidized iron sulfides, vary in their texture, and often contains the jarosites. Jarosite, it is a yellow metal which is produced as a byproduct of the oxidation process. As we have seen, when these potential acid sulfate soils, these are exposed to the oxygen, these gives the oxidation of the iron sulfides, and whatever the byproduct of this oxidation process is the yellow metal, and that yellow metal is known as the jarosite. Thus, there are two types of the acid sulfate soils: potential acid sulfate soil and actual acid sulfate soil. Then we will see the formation of the acid sulfate soil. Whatever the land which is inundated with the salt water contains the sulfates, accumulates the sulfur containing compounds, which is poorly aerated soils are bacterially reduced to the sulfates. Such soils are not usually very acidic when first drained in water. Land which is inundated with the salt water consists of the sulfates. It will give the accumulation of the sulfur compounds, which is poorly aerated soils, bacterially reduced to the sulfates. Such soils are not usually very acidic when first drained in the water. But when the soil is drained and then aerated, the sulfides is oxidized to the sulfates by the combination of the chemical and bacterial actions and gives the formation of the sulfuric acid. The magnitude of the acid development depends on the amount of the sulfide present in the soil and the condition as well as time of the oxidation. If we see the formation of the acid sulfate soils, these soils are formed in the inundated lands with the salt water, which will consist of the sulfates, which will give the accumulation of the sulfur compounds. In poorly aerated soils, bacterial reduced to the sulfates. When this soil is drained and again it is aerated, this sulfides is oxidized to the sulfates by the combination of chemical action as well as the bacterial action, and it will give the formation of the sulfuric acid. This magnitude of the sulfuric acid development depends upon the amount of the sulfide or sulfur compounds which are present in the soil, as well as condition of the soil and time of oxidation of the soil. Characteristics of the acid sulfate soils. Acid sulfate soils contains a sulfuric horizon which has a pH of 1:1 soil water ratio of less than 3.5. This acid sulfate soils has a sulfuric horizon and has the pH of 1:1 soil water ratio less than 3.5. Some other evidences of the sulfide contents of the soil is the yellow color of the soil. As we have seen, jarosites is the byproduct of this oxidation process, and it is the yellow colored compound. This yellow color occurs in these sulfide soils or the acid sulfate soils. Such a strong acidity in acid sulfate soils results in the toxicity of the aluminum and iron. As we know, whatever the acidic soils, these are rich in their aluminum and iron content. All the bases are removed and it will give the accumulation of the iron as well as the aluminum on the soil colloids. And strongly acidity in acid sulfate soils results in the toxicity of this aluminum as well as the iron. Soluble salts unless leach, manganese and hydrogen sulfide gas. Hydrogen sulfides often form in the lowland rice soils, causing the Akotsi disease, which will prevent the rice plant roots from absorbing the nutrients. Akotsi disease, which is occurring in the rice plant, particularly in the lowland rice soils, it is caused due to the hydrogen sulfides, which will prevent the rice plants to absorb the nutrients from the soil. These are the characteristics of the acid sulfate soils. Then reclamation and management of the acid sulfate soils. Management techniques are extremely variable and depends on the many specific factors as extent of the acid formation. Up to what extent this acid formation takes place in the soils? Thickness of the sulfide layer in the soil. What are the possibilities of the leaching or draining the land? According to this extent of the acid formation, thickness of the sulfide layer, possibilities of the leaching or draining the land, the management techniques are variable. Keeping the area flooded and controlling the water table is one of the management practice for this acid sulfate soil. Maintaining the reduced condition of the soil, that is, we have to maintain the anaerobic condition of the soil. Soil inhibits the acid development if the soil is used for the rice growing. Whatever the acid sulfate soil, if these are used for the cultivation of the rice, then it will inhibit the development of the acid in the soil. Liming is the primary way to reclaim any type of the acid soils. If these soils are leached during the early years of the acidification, lime requirements are lowered. But if we go for the liming after formation of the acid sulfate soil, then it will require the amount of the lime for reclamation of these acid sulfate soils. Leaching, however, it is difficult because of the high water table commonly found in this type of the soils, as well as low permeability of the clay. Seawater is sometimes available for the preliminary leaching. If we see the reclamation and management of the acid sulfate soils, these management techniques are extremely variable and depends on the various specific factors like extent of the acid formation, thickness of the sulfide layer, possibilities of the leaching or draining the land. By keeping the soil flooded and controlling the water table, we can reclaim this acid sulfate soil. By maintaining the reduced condition of the soil, that is, by maintaining the anaerobic condition of the soil, we can reclaim these acid sulfate soils. Soil inhibits the acid development if it is used for the cultivation of the rice. Liming in the early years will give the lower requirement of the lime. Leaching, however, it is difficult because of the high water table commonly found in this type of the soils, as well as low permeability of the clay. Sometimes the seawater is available for the preliminary leaching of the soils. The questions which are asked on this topic, we may be asked, what is acid sulfate soil? Describe in detail the formation of the acid sulfate soil. What are the characteristics of the acid sulfate soil? Explain the types of the acid sulfate soils. Define sulfate acid soil and give the reclamation and management of the sulfate acid soils. What are the acid and acid sulfate soils? Describe in short its formation and management. Likewise, these questions can be asked on this topic. We will stop here.